Okay, now you can off if you want, or you can keep accordingly. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
So, welcome to DGCA Remote Pilot Training Course. So, we are actually today the first session about the drone pilot course, small class rotorcraft, VLOS. Okay, so these are the terminology and for which you are going to get trained for next 5 days. Uh, it's a first step what you guys have taken into the new industry, the drone industry, which is just 3 years old from the India perspective. I would say, though the industry is almost 125 years old, the unmanned aircraft vehicles are been there across the globe, and people are using them for different purposes, and almost for more than 125 years, I would say. Okay, so let's see over the due course of time. Once again, I welcome both of you. Currently, we were expecting at least, so normally we take 2, 4, 6, max to max 8 students in a batch. Okay, so sometimes there are 2 students, sometimes there are 4 students, sometimes there are 6 students, even sometimes up to 8 students. Okay, though we have a capacity of 20 students, we have been authorized to run a batch up to 20 students, but we don't overcrowd the batches. Like last batch was about 6 students, so we have not gone beyond that. I know normally 6, max to max 8 students. Beyond that, we have not been training students, so we would be actually splitting the batches between people. Okay, so that's how we do it. So the smaller batch is good batch to train. We focus more on the aspect of a proper training on the drone flying as well as theoretical. So basics are being very cleared for you, as well as your practicals are being made sure that you fly your own drone. Okay, that extent we give you the training. Okay, so that is what it is. Yes, Darshan, you have a question?
So can you accept me on the PC because it's asking just to accept for you. I'm trying to access through laptop. It's asking me to join the once you accept it.
Yeah, I think now.
Yeah, now I can see. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay, so that is what we have over here in the session. Okay, and also during the course of sessions, theory sessions, if you have any doubt, any question, just raise a hand. Appropriately, I will allow you to ask the question, because more and more your doubts and concepts have been cleared. It will be much easier when you go for practicals, right? Whether it is a simulated flying or whether it is actually a 2 days of flying at the Igatpuri locations. Okay, just mute your system so that there is no echo. So once again, welcome to DGCA Remote Pilot Course, where we are actually going to train on small class rotorcraft VLOS. So do you understand what you mean by small class rotorcraft VLOS? Do you have any idea about it? No problem. So over this first session, what we are going to talk about, this is just an introduction. After that, we are going to start with our actual module. So that module will actually help you to understand this terminology. The basics of the drone industry, what we have, what kind of rules, what are regulations, who are the stakeholders, what are the documents. All that will become covered in the first module itself. Okay, so the must module, though you must have seen the schedule, which talks about 1.5 hour schedule, but probably that could be a little lengthier also. It may go for 2 hours or 2.5 hours also, because I spend more time over that module, because that is your basics of your drone industry. That's the basic of your safety, security, and regulations parts. So that's where I spend more time, so that those are very very clear when you are actually flying the drones anywhere in the India. Okay, and anywhere you feel that questions to be asked or wherever, just raise a hand. I will just give you appropriate time to give your take your question and then answer appropriate. Okay, you can take a screenshot of the slides wherever you required, wherever you feel. I would also be sharing you some screenshots or some images related to our topics. Plus, end of this session today evening, I will be sending you one email which will be the complete summary of every presentation I play. Okay, every presentation or every slides I share you, there will be a summary document. It will be a textual document which will cover all the, so you don't need to really take any notes. You don't really need to write anything. But still, if you feel something what you want to capture on your own, feel free to do it. If you feel somewhere you want this screenshot to be taken, please do so. We're not having any recording of the session or anything. So I would, and not only me, it is a DGCA requirement where they want people to spend a good amount of time during the theory session, so their theory is perfect and proper. Okay, they are aware of all the theoretical aspect of the drone requirements. Okay, plus that's why we have on a day 3 a theory exam which is of 40 minutes, 30 questions, MCQ based questions are there. So you will have a question with 4 options, out of which one is correct, which you have to choose, and you have to score 70%. That means out of 30 questions, 21 questions has to be right. Okay, so it's not that difficult if you pay proper attention to the course. If you pay attention, you read my summary sheet. What it is, just a 11 pages summary sheet, very simple, very scripts written. You just have to read it at least twice, thrice, max to max 5 times in next 2 days. Okay, so today evening I'm going to share it to you. Probably take a print out of it, go through it, read it as whenever you get time. Just read one module at a time. Not necessary to read all 11 pages in one go. You can read one by one topic as you get it. It will hardly take one page 5 minutes, not more than that. Okay, just go through the points. Whenever you find anywhere any line item, any point not clear, not able to understand, you can just buzz me on phone or you can just text me on WhatsApp. I will try to answer as you best, or I can provide you some information related to that, so that your any doubt related to any point is there, it will be cleared then and there itself. But however, I am very confident that after you attend these 2 days sessions on the theory part, most of your doubts, I mean, I would say 99% of your doubts would be cleared. Okay, you will not be left any doubt, but still you are there. I am still always available for your doubt to clear. Okay, so with that, let's start with the introduction to the Bombay Flying Club. Okay, so let's give me some history, small history about the Bombay Flying Club, as it was established in 1928. So Bombay Flying Club stands as the India's premier aviation institute, recognized and approved by Director General of Civil Aviation, Government of India, New Delhi. We are offer comprehensive training in ground flying and aircraft maintenance. So our primary when Bombay Flying Club was initially initiated, it was primarily for ground and flying sessions. Then we started with aircraft maintenance engineering also. So that is AME, what we called. As you already know, it's a birthplace of aviation in India. So when there was nothing else was there, Bombay Flying Club was the first club which established as, you know, training people for aviation or training people for flying aeroplanes. Okay, so BFC has a rich history and has been played a pivotal role in shaping the aviation landscape in the country. They renowned Mr. late MR JRD Tata, the father of Indian aviation, what we call, was the first to obtain the license, the pilot license, in February 1929 from Bombay Flying Club. Okay, even the first lady who got the license was also from Bombay Flying Club. So location, as you are already aware, you may have visited the office and all things. So it's just opposite to the Jew Aerodrome. Earlier we were operating within the Jew Aerodrome itself, but we have a now office outside Jew Aerodrome because of the security reason. You know, a lot of people face challenge getting inside the aerodrome. You know, you just can't wander inside the aerodrome or airport like that. So now we have an office exactly opposite to aerodrome. It's on the 5th floor in the Avion building. Okay, so basically we actually had a best of the best facility, whether it is training the aircraft, whether it's a theoretical knowledge, simulator sessions, all that practical aspects of aviation has been trained. So we are renowned for our professionalism. We have trained crew who now serves as a captain and engineers into the leading domestic and international airlines, such as airlines from Air India, Indian Airlines, Sahara, Jet Airways, Singapore Airlines, and Emirates, along with thousands of private pilots and engineers. So almost every year we have a batch of 120 students who actually, you know, get enrolled for these courses, whether it's a pilot course, whether it's a BSc Aviation, BSc Engineering, BSc Aeronauticals, then your aircraft maintenance engineering, and then we have also been premierly again, as we were the first to start the aviation in India. Similarly, if we see from a drone perspective, we are the first FTU who started the drone education in 2019. Okay, so we started our drone training started from 2019. We were the first to introduce this kind of a training to the general people. Okay, the first FTOA India to approve to conduct the drone flying training by DGCA. The from its roots to begin the first flying school in the country to getting the first drone flying school approval by DGCA in the country. Okay, so Bombay Flying Club has been pioneer in the aviation industry as well as drone industry also. Okay, so we had got all the authorization approvals initially to operate from Mumbai itself, but later on, once the rules were constituted or regulated by the DGCA, we could not conduct drone training flyings in Mumbai, but then we shifted our base from Mumbai to Dhule. And recently, last year only, we started working because we had a different challenges because Dhule being a primary, our aircraft training institute also over there. People were getting challenges over operating the both aircraft flying as well as drone flying. So because you cannot have simultaneously both training at the same place, or you cannot fly aircraft as well as drone at the same place. Okay, so wherever aircraft flying is happening, that is going to be a restricted area, and you will not be able to fly drone ever. So when drones are flying, you cannot fly the aircraft, and when aircrafts are flying, you cannot fly drones. That is what's the challenge, and that is the reason why we plan to shift our base something nearer to Mumbai. Okay, and that's where we started last year in 2024. That we will have somewhere near, so it will be easier for people to come, and it will be an independent site. Okay, in a green zone. Okay, so all this terminology, what I am talking about, highly restricted or restricted place or green zone, red zone, all these things, whatever terminology I am going to talk, will be covered in detail in our first module itself about rules and regulations or drone rules 2021. However, these are the drones what you see in the picture. These are the drones which we are going to fly during our sessions. So we are going to use our type certified drones. We are the first organization also to get the type certified drones for flying on training the students. We are not using the basic small training drones. Normally other institutes, if you have seen or whether you have inquired about the drone course for whether other institutes or not, but if you have done it, you would told that they are also using type certified drones, but those type certified drones are only meant for training purposes. They are in small in size, but whereas we are using these agribot drones or the agriculture drones which are enterprise class, which are being used for specifically for training. Okay, so you are getting trained on these agribot drones, so you get the feel of actual drone flying. I can always bring a small drone which will you will be very easy to fly, but when you are flying these kind of drones, you understand what is the real flying means when you really fly the actual drone. Okay, the big size drones. So the difference between the small, like you may have or seen flying of DJI drones or small drones already, where you will feel that there is nothing in flying in this kind of drones. But when you fly this such kind of a mammoth machine, the drones what we are going to fly, which is almost of 24 kg. Okay, so this is where you give that perspective. You will have that feeling that yes, I am really flying some machine or flying robot or flying drone, which how you will concepts the even physically, mentally, what you need to get prepared yourself for flying drone will make sure that in next 5 days everything will be cleared for this. Okay. So this is a game-changing career in dynamic drone technology. What began as a military innovation, like as I said, the drone industry is not about 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, or 10 years back. It is almost 125 years. Okay, almost 100. So the moment you had a first flight, post that people thought about flying the aeroplane also unmanned. Rather person being on that aeroplane, why can't we fly the aeroplane unmanned? Okay, that's where actually drone industry also started, but initially it started for a military purposes only. Okay, it was primarily initially used by like last 100 years. If you saw the first flight by the Wright brothers in 1903 at Kitty Hawk, I have shared you one image also with that to respect. Okay, so if you see that history, after the first successful flight happened, people thought about flying aeroplanes unmanned also. Okay, so that's where the military has used aeroplanes for reconnaissance missions over the enemy territory, to capture the images, to capture the data, to capture the photographs of the sites where they have done the military implementations and all the things, so that they can plan things properly to counteract and all the things. Okay, and recently even the war with the Pakistan, that 5 day war what we saw, and there we have seen drone has immensely played a role, and that's where again it has been immensely boost to the drone industry because of the war also. And then even last 2 years where we are seeing the war between Russians and Ukraine, or maybe Israeli and Palestine's war which is happening, there also we have seen drone has been extensively used. So future is all about drones. I'm not talking only from the war perspective, but from the technology perspective, from day-to-day use basics also, drone are going to be playing a very very pivotal role in your life, in human life, I would say. Like it is, the drone industry is at current stage at the same level where on 80s or 90s when the computers were introduced to the people, or where you see about in 90s or 2000, during which the mobiles were introduced. Okay, so initially we thought that how the computers will be useful for day-to-day human lives, or where we thought whether mobile will be only using for communication device. But today you see where the computers are there. Today you know where the mobile. We cannot live without computer. We cannot live, stay away without mobiles. Nowadays it has become a integral part of our life. Day to day, we cannot think about in a single day, even single moment without computer or mobile. Similarly, drones will also be playing a very important role in our life in next couple of decades. I would say maybe by end of this decade, we will see they will be useful so much extensively that we cannot think, whether it is about the photography, videography, delivery of parcels, or surveillance, monitoring. Every aspect of things what we think will be useful, and drones will be part of your life. Okay, so let's see a small introduction about the BFC, and then this is about my introduction. My name is Mangesh Sutar. I am the accountable manager for Bombay Flying Club for the drone division, as well as the chief drone pilot instructor. I have another colleague with me who is also a chief captain, as well as he is also instructor along with me. Just a minute, I am getting a call. Okay, so I am being also your chief drone pilot instructor, so I will be taking your theory sessions as well as your practicals. I have the certified DGCA drone instructor and pilot for small and medium RPAS. I have 22 plus years prior to drone industry. Like last two years, I am extensively only working in a drone industry, but prior to that, I have worked with IT industry for almost 22 years as a IT project manager. I am PMP certified, PFMP certified, RMP certified. So whatever certifications are required or training required with respect to IT industry or handling the IT industry, I have built a lot of large data centers, whether it is for Yes Bank, ICICI Bank, IDBI Bank, SBI's, a lot of them. I mean, I have worked on almost all industries with respect to the IT, and I've spent 12 years in Dell Technologies, 8 years in IBM, and then Linux Technologies 2 years. So that's how I spread my 22 years in IT. I am been expert in UA operations and training, whether it is agriculture drones or whether power line inspections. So during the course of your theory sessions, I will be giving a lot of examples related to agriculture flying, power line inspections, and then I do also give consultancies for DGCA type certification experts. Okay, so I help people build their drones, design their drones, and test their drones. So normally in India, if you want to build a drone and manufacture and sell this drone, you need to get a type certification for it. Like how you build a car or bike, it needs to be certified by the Quality Council of India. The same body actually certifies your drones also, so that type certification of the drone is required, which is a very tedious task. It takes almost like 3 months to 6 months to 1 year or more than that also, to get that type certification, and then only you can mass produce those drones and sell those drones to the other people. From an education perspective, I have done my MSc in physics initially, and then also have a technical proficiency in drone technology, as well as currently I am pursuing my PhD in computer science for geoinformatics. So basically, through Symbiosis International University, Pune, I have been registered, and this is my first year. So I registered in 2024. I have just completed my first semester, and my exams would be there by end of this month. So I will be busy into that. That's why this probably would be the last batch of this month, and then probably we'll have a next batch starting from July, depending upon the monsoon and all. Okay. I have also developed couple of, like, even this RPTO what we established at Igatpuri was set up by me only, helping the Bombay Flying Club to set it up, the infrastructure as well as the requirement and all the things, documentation, getting it audited and getting successfully authorized by DGCA. So it almost take us 5 to 6 months. So we started from last July, working on this location, setting it up, and making sure that all the, as per the guidelines, the entire setup is there, and we deliver to DGCA as per their norms, so that they come. I mean, it is a 2 day audit which takes place for getting the authorization. So I have worked out day and night to make sure that this RPTO. Similarly, there is recently also in one of the RPTO in near Surat, Vadodara location, I have got it established. So there are 2, 3 more RPTOs where I have just offered my consultancy services or offered my expertise, so that they are able to establish and they are set up and get it authorized from DGCA. Okay. So basically, I am committed to the advancing drone technology and geoinformatics training. So also I do training in geoinformatics, the GIS part of the training. So I would be, I mean, Bombay Flying Club will be introducing some more courses, which are offline courses, where you are actually able to do those kind of learning also, like whether it is a drone maintenance course or drone, post to flying the drones, whatever the data you capture, the geoinformatics parts, like whether you're flying for land mapping, whether it is for surveillance or crop monitoring or soil monitoring kind of things, or what do you do. So basically train people for that. So we are actually committed to make sure that we train the people for the next generation of UAE as well as GIS professionals. Okay, so that's the introduction about myself. I would request Darsh and Arkodeep for you also to give a short introduction, just on your camera if possible or not, and just give your introduction about yourself, your family background, why do you have joined for doing this course, a small thing about it, and what do you expect from this course in next 5 days. Okay, over to you, Darsh.
Yeah, good morning, sir. My name is Darshan Bangira. I'm basically based in Mumbai, and I have my own business of gift items. Before this, I was working with ground staff in Jet, initially in Terminal 2, and
Okay,
post that, then I become a cabin crew in Air.
great.
But due to a health issue, I had to resign and I came back to my business.
Okay,
So now, why I'm doing this course, because I'm very much inclined towards anything which flies. So this, I have this craze for aircraft since the age of 5. For that reason, I was like, okay, I can think about it. And I've seen certain videos in YouTube which is related to drone capturing, like photography. So that attracts me a lot. That is the reason I thought I will take the course.
okay, okay, great, great, great. And what do you expect from this course? What do you think that, what is your future plans? Where do you see yourself in next 3 to 5 years in this industry? What do you expect to do?
Probably make anything related to photography and movies, such like that, which can help me through this course. Like the drones, how usually they have that travel photography.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's great. So Darsh, basically you have taken the first step. I think this will definitely help you. So getting the license, proper
Yes,
license, and then you can fly the drones for photography, videography, and whatever industry or whatever segment of drone oper. I mean, there are countless opportunities are there. You just need to explore. Like other day, I was just seeing on the internet, and I saw that even circus. Okay, I will share you that video also. Circus has also adopted drones in there. There is a joker and the drone. They are communicating with each other, and they are mimicking and you're doing some actions where they are making people laugh. So drone is trying to communicate with the joker, and joker is trying to imitate or trying to do some kind of conversation with the drone and act. So that is making people laugh. So it is just you have to think where the drone could be useful, how drone could be the part of that particular segment. I mean, I just when I saw that clip, I was just thinking that you just need to think and apply. Okay, then only things will fall into place and all things. So similarly, initially, if you see in 2000, it started, the drones were there, as I said, 100 years, but they were more or less used by only military people. But since 2000, the drones were used. Initially, people started using the mainstream, the civilian people or commercial people who started using initially drones just by putting a camera on it for taking photographs, videos, and all that thing. That's where actually the drone industry started push. Okay, till that it was only for military and only private segment people were using. Only small segment of people. But the mainstream people started using from 2000. So we'll see in the course of time how this industry has evolved. Okay. Yes. Now, thanks Darsh for that. Yes, Arkodeep, about your introduction.
Hello, sir. My name is Arkodeep. I was born and brought up in Kolkata. So currently, I'm working as a mutual fund distributor in finance sector, and along
Okay.
with that, I'm a professional scuba diver as well. So now I'm doing this for like I have future plans in mapping and land surveying,
Right.
just like I asked you.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So
So you are based out of Calcutta. So you have specifically come for this training to over here,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's really great. I mean, we do get a lot of people from outside Mumbai, coming and getting the train from Bombay Flying Club. So that's how people see that. So here you are staying with your anybody relative or
yes.
friend?
No, no. I have friends because previously I have done my DGC ground classes from here as well.
Oh, great.
Yeah. So
So you
for that
have
one.
enrolled for a pilot course also?
No, I have not done it yet, but I have the computer number and I will enroll for that soon.
Okay, so do you intend to become a pilot also in future?
Yes, yes, yes,
Oh, fantastic. That's really great. I mean, this is something really. So you are also associated with the aviation industry, and
yes,
you prefer to continue your career into aviation industry. That's really great. So definitely your aviation industry knowledge, as well as your connect with the drone industry, both go in hand in hand. So there is no separate about drone industry and aviation. Both are part of one industry itself only. So mutually right now aviation is working in a segment where a drone industry is working in a different segment, but eventually everything is related to each other, and probably they will merge and become one as a big industry and all that.
yeah,
Okay, but they have their own space to work and function accordingly. But
yes,
because of the drone industry, even aviation industry is going to become disrupt. Okay, so there is not disrupt, I would say, challenges something, but they will have their own space to work and function accordingly. Okay, so it is
yes,
both industries are growing immensely, and then we see a good growth in next 10 years to 15 years down the line. So we saw that the growth is very good, prospectives are good. Only thing is initially there will be some challenges and struggle, but eventually you will sail through it. Okay,
yes,
so definitely, and I wish you both of you all the best. And with that, let's begin with the basic knowledge about the drone opportunities. We can see here there is a agriculture, shipping, parcel delivery, mapping, land surveying, food supply, then disaster management, weather forecast, crowd monitoring, movie filming, military, wildlife monitoring, medical supply, city surveillance, infrastructure management, construction inspections, event photography, insurance claims. So these are some prominent opportunities what currently people are been using even in weather forecast. You know, and there, I mean, I can put one more slide with more opportunities over there, but I've just limited what is currently, which is more extensively pushing forward this drone industry and taking forward. Like for example, food supply. You must have heard about Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit. All these, even delivery. All these people are actually extensively using drone for their delivery parts. Whether it is for food supply or for what we call as supply of groceries, or parcel delivery. All that kind of things are happening using the drone, and definitely it will become a mainstream. Okay, though people are unnecessary creating a buzz by saying 10 minutes delay, but here we don't require about 10-minute delivery. Even the parcel get delivered in 30 minutes, it's okay. It should be safe and all the thing. We don't require 10 minutes delivery. We require safe and timely delivery of it. Okay, that is what people are looking forward it. So these are some opportunities. Definitely there could be more opportunity. Like you can see here, medical supply. The first responder. Like there could be and locations where medical supply or medical support. Which is very paramount, crucial for saving the lives, or providing first level of response to any needy and all the things. So drone has would be playing a very very extensive role in even in the healthcare part also. Okay, so we have seen some opportunities which were created during pandemic, COVID times, and all the things. So definitely this will health industry is also looking forward for drone being an immensely help. Again, if you see constructions also, inspections, mining, or the infrastructure management also, like whether it is a power line towers, telecom towers, or even like big tower buildings where they need a lot of extensive cleaning for outside, surveillance, monitoring. All that things also is required to be done through drone. And the last and least important is about the disaster management, whether it is a flood, fire, or earthquake kind of situation. Drone has also played a very paramount role in providing the support immediately after the disaster and all the things. Okay, so you can see the opportunities what there lies of using the drone. And being as a drone pilot, you should know that how safety, security, and regulations need to be followed, which is we are going to learn in the next module over itself. Okay, so this is how our next 2 days schedule would be there. So we start with the first topic on the stakeholders and their laws, talk about drone rules 2021. Then probably we'll have a tea break, and then basic principles of flight. Then we'll see the ATC procedures and ready telephony, and then we'll do the fixed wing operations, aerodynamics. Same thing for the rotorcraft. Rotorcraft is the most important topic again. So whichever important topics are, those are being marked as a bullet, or they have been marked as bold. So you will know that these are the important topics which we need to uh, pay more attention with respect to the knowledge, more aspect with the theory test, as well as our flying also depend on these some critical topics over there, or understanding required. Okay, that doesn't mean that other topics are least important. They also are being paramount important, but these bold topics are very closely associated with your training and closely associated with your flying skills, what you are going to learn about it. Okay, there are some topics like payload installations and utilization on introduction to data, drone data and analysis. These are the topics which have been introduced by DGCA, but they are at a very basic level or basic initial level. They are the topic in itself as a course also. Okay, so maybe in future there would be a detailed separate courses we would be introduced for payload as well as drone data, and like what I talked about the GIS course which we are going to start. It is more about the drone data and analysis. Okay, so GIS, when we start about GIS informatics course, that this topic itself will be around 3 to 5 days of course. Okay, where we will actually teaching you about the particular software and particular how to analyze the data, how to process the data post you have flown the drone and capture the data, and then utilizing it for analysis part and presenting it in form of a report, or maybe presenting in form of some kind of a documentation to the customers or the users or whosoever you have taken the projects. Okay, and then we will cover up every day end of the session. We'll probably maybe having a small Q&A session where you can ask questions. I can also put some questions because I will make sure that make ready you for the theory test also. Okay, so whenever I get some time, I will flash some questions similar questions what are going to be asked in your theory test in the chat window, so you can just take an attempt. So you will get acquainted with the type of questions would come, or what kind of questions, what you need to pay attention. Whatever you learn in your theory, every module by module, there will be one or two or maybe max four questions on each module. I will be posting in the chat, and you can attempt them. Don't worry about whether you are right or wrong. If you are right, well and good, I will still give you the explanation. Even if you are wrong, I will give you the clarification why this is wrong answer and what is the right answers. So that will help you to prepare yourself about the theory topic, as well as your concepts will be become more clearer when you do this type of training. Okay. Yes, Sarkodik.
Sir, I was asking that this MCQ question for the exam, it will be conducted by DGC or the...
No, no, we will be conducting.
Okay,
We have to conduct on behalf of DGC.
okay,
Okay, so you will be given a paper, hard paper will be given to you, and you just have to take them. Okay,
okay.
40
So
minutes.
it's off.
Yeah, it's offline.
Okay,
It's offline. But it will give you an idea, good idea about your preparation as well as your knowledge. It will really test your knowledge. There would be very simple base. Some questions will be very basic. There would be some questions which will actually test your knowledge or your understanding. So both things would be there. So 50% questions would be simpler. There would be 50% questions would be little bit tough, or maybe not really tough, but which will help to you to understand. So when you are preparing yourself, read the documents what I am sharing you, pay attention to the slides what I am sharing to you. Okay. So with that, I think I have answered your query, and with that I complete my introduction session, and we'll start with the our first module. Before that, if you have any other questions, I can take up, or I can start with the first module. Right. So these are our coordinates. Ground classes are online, offline. Okay, whenever we have a bigger batch, we do conduct offline batch at Igatpuri also for theory classes. Our flying will be at Jaisin Lake Vaitarna Resort. This is the resort which we have a place. So we have a separate place from this resort. We have taken a separate plot from this resort part only, and dedicated only for flying. So that plot is only authorized for drone flying. That is the plot where we are going to build a helipad as well as the drone ports also. Okay, so currently we have just made the ground ready. There are some approvals and some issues are going on with respect to the ground, and that is why we are not able to construct the helipad as of now. But it is good ground for flying the drone, so we do not have any obstacles or anything. There were trees and lot of things. So I will give you the background of the location and everything during the course of time, during when we go there for practical sessions also, and you will come to know. So that ground or that plot was almost having 50-60 trees, where there we have to cut off and remove all the trees and everything, because we have to make that entire land free from obstacles, because drone needs a free open ground when we are training the students. Okay, that is what is the requirement. So we have built, we tried to build. So there are a lot of work still pending, maybe due the course over next 1 year, or because this land will be primarily used for helipad landing, as well as for helicopter landing, as well as for drone flying training, as well as even in future if drones are flying across the location, like probably flying from Igatpuri to let's say our location, our flying site, or maybe from drone Mumbai to Igatpuri also. You need to land the drone somewhere. So we are building like a vertiport over there, or maybe a drone port, so that people can land their drone. People can come there also on their own for training or flying their own drones, or if they want in future after post training also, if you want to fly our drone, you can also book those sessions also flying for. Like if down the line, if 3 months you feel that no, I need little bit a refresher, or I want to fly the drone for maybe a 1 day or 2 days, you can book, and you can fly those drones also over there. Even whether you want to fly your own drone, or whether you want to fly our DGCI type certified drones also, that is also possible as you required. Okay, so that's how we have built this, and this is the only RPTO which are coming up with this kind of requirements, because we are talking to our students, we are talking to our participants who are done courses with us. Like we have almost trained now more than 110 students. Okay, so last only we completed I think 118. So 118 students have been trained by us so far under the Bombay Flying Club drone things. Okay, so initially we have trained almost 89 students at Dhule locations, and now since we started over here, we have almost trained 29 students at the new location for the drone industry. Okay, so if you have any questions, I can take up, or I can switch to the next module.